That's a good question. You don't usually stump me, so.
Sarah, good to see you, as always. So much happens in the quads between Olympics, and I think back to 2022 to now. So much has changed in the game, in your life. What's it like for you to reflect where you are now in comparison to going into the last games?
It was so incredibly different. I think the world was at a different place. We were kind of experiencing that whole COVID Olympics back in Beijing too. And so we were so locked down in a bubble, just solely focused on performing at the Olympics. Everything we did was to make sure that we were all safe and protected and to get to the Olympics and perform. And this time around, we have so many other things going on. We have a professional women's hockey league that we all get to play in. We're playing with our club teams, and then obviously selection processes are different heading into this Olympics. So the whole picture of what like Olympic hockey looks like is different.
Rishon scores! Hat-trick goal for Nurse. Her 5th of the tournament, her 17th point.
What opened up for you after not only the team success, but you personally going off in those games?
I think it really put a spotlight on women's hockey. I've seen it build and build and build from, 2018, obviously there was like some buzz around us, and then 2022 came and it felt like the bubble burst. And I thought that was the coolest part, because it wasn't just the young girls and the women who were watching women's hockey, it was pretty much everyone. I remember coming back, I went to like a Leaf game on the GO train, and every single person was trying to get to our car to talk to me because they had like some Olympic story. And that just goes to show how much it touched people throughout our country.
You fully leveraged that interest, the brand deals. Take me through how they've come and how you've managed that extra opportunity, but also extra responsibility.
Yeah, I've had such an incredible opportunity to work with some really amazing brands, and long term as well, which I think that I appreciate so much. Gorgeous. I've had so many long-standing partners that I've been able to work with and that have supported me from my journey for, I think, the last 6 or 7 years. And so from 2022, I think it opened me up to a whole new landscape of opportunities where a lot of my partners have been, in hockey or in sport, and then I've been able to open up and work with like a Revlon or a Holt Renfrew, which are both incredible brands in like the beauty and the fashion space.
Stunning. We love a red dress.
We love it. Which I love and align with my personality and kind of like my pillars and values, and how I would like to be portrayed and seen.
Phoebe, we're gonna go try.
So to be able to partner with brands like that have been really cool and have brought me to some pretty cool places.
Sarah, I thought I put a lot of thought into my fits, but everyone sees your fashion and it's fun, but damn girl, this looks like work.
It takes time to curate an outfit that, you really love and you're really proud of. And it's a lot of fun to get to experiment with a bunch of different things. And I obviously get to work with a great stylist in Sid, who really understands me, gets me from a fashion standpoint, and we get to put great looks out in the world.
It also takes time to build a brand, and now you are synonymous with high fashion. Why is that an important part of showing off your personality?
I think it's just important to me because of an authenticity standpoint. Like, I've always loved clothes, I've always loved bags, I've loved shoes, and so to be able to show that to the world and then be able to work with different brands and stores that I've loved for so long, it's a real honor and a privilege, but it's definitely taken hard work, and I've always wanted to show who I am.
You say partner and not sponsors, because, and I've told you this before, one of the things that I really admire and look up to you for is that you put your partners to work on the philanthropic and charity initiatives that mean something to you. How did you get to that place? Did it come naturally? Was that always the case?
Yeah, I was actually given a bit of advice when I was probably 20, 21 years old. And it was, if you get to work with these brands, obviously it needs to be mutually beneficial for you both. So it has to make sense for you both. But if there's any causes that I'm passionate about, have them be passionate about it as well with you. And so I've been able to align with my partners who want to help out in so many different ways. And so, I mean, I have a partnership with Rogers that really doesn't have much to do with me. It is completely surrounding my initiative of Nursing Night. And so they've been able to support completely just in Nursing Nights. And so I think that's one of my coolest partnerships, because it really doesn't go towards me, but it goes towards the kids and the people that I'm able to support with Nursing Night.
In 2020, lots of companies decided they wanted to invest and become more diverse post, obviously, the racial reckoning that we had after George Floyd's death. For you managing and getting understanding of, well, who's in it to really make change and who's in it for PR, how do you find that balance?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it's quite obvious when somebody approaches you and you just feel like they're checking a box. It doesn't take a super smart person to figure that out. And so because I have a great team around me, and then I'm also very strong in my values and also my intuition about that, is understanding that it has to make sense. It has to be authentic, because if it's not authentic, we're all going to look bad. And I don't ever want that. I always want those the authenticities to shine through, because that's what connects with, the groups that we're trying to connect with. And so that's been really first and foremost and at the forefront, is understanding that, like, when I create a partnership or I want to do business, it's not to check a box. It's for those authentic pieces.
All these things take time and energy, physical and mental. How do you manage the main thing being the production on ice with also growing those relationships?
Yeah, well, I've realized that hockey is first and foremost for me. I absolutely love the game. I love to play, but also understanding that hockey, to me, like, it's the vehicle. If I'm not performing at my best, I can't drive the vehicle and have everybody else get on with me.
Walked down low in front, they score!
And so for me, hockey has always been number one, and it's how I've wanted to inspire and empower people and show them that they can do anything. So I think that that's always been first and foremost, and then understanding that everything else is just an added bonus. It's extra that I get the incredible opportunity to have. And so being able to conserve and use my energy in the things that really fill me up.
Had a little bit more time due to injury, with the hockey being taken away from you. What has that experience been like, not being able to be on the ice?
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. It's funny because growing up, you just think that hockey is just something that you're going to do forever and ever, and you always look forward to the next game. And coming into the PWHL, something I realized very quickly was, like, you don't want to take a game of professional hockey for granted for whatever reason. And so this season has been really tough because I was so excited to get to a new market.
Led by Sarah Nurse, carving in, she scores! Sarah Nurse! The Golden Eyes' first ever goal!
Make an impact on my team, help my team get wins, and then, first game goes and I have this serious injury that is going to sideline me for 2 months. And so it's very daunting, because obviously you want to be in the action, you want to be around your teammates, and so I had to find other ways to make an impact on them. I wanted to be like that source of light and that source of energy in the locker room, that when things were getting tough, when they're in the trenches, when they were a little bit down, I wanted to help lift them up. And so I found a different way to be an impact. And then also with the Olympics kind of looming in the back corner, it was understanding that I had a bit of a timeline and that I was going to be okay, and that I had to trust in my preparation. I had to have confidence in everything that I've done up until this point, that, I could get a spot on the team. And so I knew I'd have no control over that. I was very optimistic and hopeful, but understanding that, yeah, we were kind of under some deadlines here. So it got a little stressful for a bit.
Fortunately or unfortunately, you have some experience going into an Olympic Games with injury. How much of a reference point has that been for you this time around?
Yeah, I think last time it was a different injury. It was one of my knees. And so when I think about that and integrating yourself back into a game, I was like, well, if I've already done it with a knee, I can do it with this. And so it's been a huge source of confidence. Obviously, you never want to go into anything coming off an injury, but it's been a lot of confidence. And I think it's been a source of confidence for my teammates and for my staff as well, knowing that I have done this before and that I can do it again.
You talk about the excitement going to Vancouver and helping start a franchise. There was a lot of devastation, for some of your fans when that happened. What were the DMs like? What was that process like for you starting a new chapter?
There was a lot of disbelief at first, I definitely think, and now it's a lot of, when are you coming back? We miss you. And so I appreciate the fans so incredibly much. I think they've been nothing but amazing to me throughout my entire career, especially with the PWHL. And so it's definitely like, it was a bittersweet moment leaving Toronto, but at the same time, like, it's professional sports, and I had the opportunity to be one of the first people to start a franchise on the West Coast, somewhere that doesn't really have professional hockey and has never really gotten professional women's hockey. And so I was just very excited at the opportunity to do that. And I knew that we would have multiple opportunities to come back home and play out east a couple times a year. And so I'm definitely going to take all of those opportunities and just cherish them.
When you think of corporate Canada, and a lot of your brand partners were on Bay Street in Toronto. Now you're on the other side of the country. Is there a balance of trying to maintain some of those relationships, but also being a little bit more national now?
Yeah, I think that it's been so wonderful because obviously I have established myself in the Toronto market and I have so many incredible relationships here. But it's been cool because they are such great relationships that it's not like they're lost just because I moved to Vancouver. And I know that with my partners, for example, like, they couldn't have been happier actually that I ended up in Vancouver. Like, they thought it was cool that they were having an athlete across the country and kind of starting this new franchise. And so I think if anything, like, it really helped more than I actually thought. But again, like, they've always been so supportive of me. So I'm glad that I don't have to worry about that.
This will be, the first games where players are coming into it, from a professional environment, especially on the top two nations. How, if at all, do you think that'll impact the level of play?
I think it's just going to continue to raise it. We see it every single game day here in the PWHL, how intense and how tight it is when we're playing against each other.
Intercepted by Karvinen. Here comes Vanisheva. Down the right side. Saved by Murphy. A rebound in front. Score!
For me to be able to play with a Vanisheva or a Karvinen, like, I know how hard they're working here, and I know that they're going to bring that back to their national teams. And so I think the level of play is just going to continue to escalate to the point where it really does need to be.
Not being centralized with the national team going into these games, what's the impact of that for the team and the understanding that you have?
It completely changes the game. We have been a group that's been very tightly knit. We have like a good core that's come up for, a couple Olympic cycles at this point. And so we're very used to being together for a very long time. And we love it. Like, we really do relish it. And so it's completely different because we had to find another way to use that to our strength. So it was different touch points throughout the year. We played a lot of hockey with each other this year, actually, outside of rivalry series, but we had our training blocks where we were just together for 2 or 3 weeks throughout the fall leading into the PWHL season. And so I think we used that time to team build, to practice, to do some gameplay, obviously, but it was really just making sure that we had that connection with each other.
Because of the PWHL, going into these games, a lot of Canadians aren't getting to know the names, they know them. Leaving this Olympic experience, what do you want them to say about your name and what you've brought to the sport and to the country?
That's a good question. You don't usually stump me. So no, I think that I've been able to accomplish a lot of things off of the ice, a lot of things on the ice, and I think that I just really want to hit home that excellence can be achieved really everywhere. I've always loved being such a good hockey player. I've taken such pride in it, and I want to continue to show that. I want to continue to show that I still have so much passion for the game, but I can also be passionate off of the ice and empower the next generation to do so as well. And so I really just hope that it hits home that I want to leave a legacy of being a great hockey player, but I want to leave a legacy of being a better person off it.
Well, it's the era of fashionable Hamilton athletes taking over.
Go.
So Shea had his moment. This is yours.
There you go. Good company.